Hey, welcome to the Mostly Skateboarding Podcast. I'm your host, Patrick Kigongo, and I'm joined this week by Mike Munzenrider, and yes, Jason from Frozen and Carbonite, to do a roundup of recent videos. The final hour is upon us. Yes, y'all. With Thrasher's Skater of the Year due to be announced any day now, the content floodgates have opened. We've got Chris Joslin's long-awaited footage of his tray flip down El Toro, a new part by skating's latest child prodigy, Ginwoo Onodera, a Daewon interview, and wait, what's this? A 7-minute Zion joint. Oh my goodness, our cups overfloweth. So starting right off, the man of the hour, maybe even the man of the year, skater of the year. Yesterday, Chris Joslin finally dropped his long-awaited Gma part. Jason, does Mr. Joslin have what it takes? Has he got SOTY in the bag?
Yeah, a couple of things. I was trying to think, has anyone else ever called out their trick and spot after doing it in a video?
Maybe Bastion?
I think it's completely unprecedented.
I think it's unprecedented, dude.
Yeah.
Like I don't think even Brian Emmers did that shit.
That's hard.
Yo!
On Emmers.
But yeah, I mean, I have a theory that Antonio has switched 360 flip Wallenberg and Thrasher has the footage and they're going to post it directly to Instagram like this weekend and just give it to Antonio straight up. Who knows? I guess by the time this podcast dropped, we'll find out. But Joslin is definitely, I mean, journalists love narratives, right? And Joslin is the most like ready-made narrative here. I mean, he's on Plan B, a company that has been all about pushing the limits since, I guess, 1991.
Yep.
So, yeah, I think if I was going to bet, I would bet on Joslin right now.
What did you think of the part?
The part was pretty good. Like, I mean, someone on Twitter said it was like 2 good tricks and a bunch of throwaway footage, but there was some cool shit in there. Like, I think I've said this before, but I think Chris Joslin has good style. He has good style. Like, that was based on Battle of the Barracks, so he has good flat ground style, but I think he has good style in general. Like that little nollie 360 heel flip on that, I guess, little like indoor wave thing. That was pretty dope.
Wasn't that Burnside?
I don't know.
I thought it was Burnside.
I believe it is Burnside.
Which kind of stoked me out because it's like, yeah, Joslin at Burnside. I've been there.
That's pretty dope. I guess it's Burnside, which is funny because I think my mind like couldn't process that.
I get it, man. It's like it's kind of a non sequitur.
So I thought it was something else, but yeah, he's definitely the biggest. He might be the best big spin guy of all time. Like, I don't know, something about like big spin flips. They look crazy on video, just the way, like, I don't know, it's kind of like coming toward you or some shit.
He has the type of big spins and tray flips that almost looks like he's able to fuck with the fabric of time.
Yeah, something like that.
Or spinning the board. Like
it's like an optical illusion.
Yes. It almost seems like, how is he slowing it down? Like any of like the first couple of big spins in his part. And I want to pull on something you said before throwing it over to Mike. You said, you had quoted somebody on Twitter who said, 2 good tricks and a bunch of stuff. But we're all of the CD generation. We all bought plenty of albums because there was 1 or 2 hot songs on there and the rest of it we could care less about. But they're still amongst our favorites, right?
True.
I don't know if that's a fair characterization of that video part. And like the whole reception on Twitter, man, was, I think, way harsher than need be for whatever reasons we could get into later. But like, he skates to a fun, kitschy solo Aussie song. He rips. He does cool tricks, I think. He had that switch big spin flip in San Francisco, like by the Ferry Building. I don't know what that spot's called, but it's right there. And like that was gone in a blink of an eye, but that's like one of the biggest switch backside big spins probably ever done. Like Matt Schnur's turning in his grave.
Wait, is he dead?
No, that was just a joke.
I was about to say, R.I.P. the homie.
But yeah. I mean, Matt Schnur did it down like 3 stairs, and then it was a triple set of 3s. Yeah, sorry, Matt Schnur. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, double big spins. I don't know. The backside nollie flip down, fake you out that he's going to do a manual trick clip. And I think something that we almost touched on last week, talking about, photos versus footage, the payoff of seeing that 360 flip as video from 17 different angles 14 times, like he did that as good as anybody's going to do anything that big. even an ollie, like that was so sick.
He made it look like a 3-stair. That's how much control he had. And that goes back to Jason's observation that he's got, I think it's beyond total control. It's on some Matrix type shit.
Yeah, for something that big, there's no other way than landing bolts. Like you have to land bolts and like absorb the impact like perfectly.
Well, and it's funny, if it's gonna work, it's not gonna look that gnarly. Like Reynolds, I feel like had some power squat outs, but that's that dude's build. I think he backside flipped Wallenberg, and his ass nearly dragged on the ground, but it looks sick because that's that dude and the way he did things. Joslin is cut, and I think he's stocky, at least from what you can tell on footage, and so he's just like little like mass of muscles that just absorbs it and keeps rolling, and then says what trick he did and where.
Jason, you are our resident personal trainer. What kind
That's
of program?
Right. The fitness liaison.
Fitness god. What kind of program do you think Joslin is on? Because he looks good, and clearly whatever he's doing is paying off on the board. Like, what would you, for listeners who want to get like him, who want to be like Chris, what do they need to do?
Yeah, it's hard to tell. Like, well, first off, he was doing pull-ups like all the way wrong at the beginning. Like, you're not supposed to like scrunch your body up like that. You're supposed to focus on like your back muscles. But yeah, I saw some shit like he's using one of those like balance things, like probably doing some box jumps to help with your pop, probably doing some incline bench, some dumbbell presses, shit like that, hammer curls, probably just your basic shit with a little bit of like skate centric stuff mixed in.
Yeah, but he looks good.
It's funny. I wonder, I mean, it's obviously he looks good and it's working for him. I commented on Twitter that this might be like the buffest SOTY race ever based on, the street guys who are in the running. I do wonder though, like where is there a tipping point with bulking up? Because for a quarter snack story a couple of years ago, I talked to Davey Sales, who played college football. And he's a big dude. I can't remember how tall he is. He's probably around 6-ish. But, his college football weight was like 60 or 7, some ridiculous amount of pounds heavier than what his optimal skating weight was. And he carried that all in his upper body, and he said it threw him off, and he had to just like get rid of that muscle mass to feel good on a board. So it's interesting that, it's obviously not slowing down Joslin, but yeah, could it mess you up if you start doing, crazy pull-ups, doing them wrong?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he looks pretty lean, so I think he's good for a one.
Yeah,
I dragged us way off topic.
No, that is not way off. The other stuff that stands out. Okay, look, I have to give him extra special super bonus credit for skating to Ozzy, and more specifically, "Mama, I'm Coming Home," which was co-written by Lemmy and Zakk Wylde. Actually, I think Zakk Wylde came up with it on piano. So, R.I.P. Lemmy, R.I.P. the Prince of Darkness, Ozzy Osbourne. Like, this is it. And
who's Zakk Wylde?
Zakk Wylde is only one of the best heavy metal guitar players out there who played with Ozzy for many, many years. Jason hit me with the additional bonus facts.
He's Zakk Wylde. He's the master of the, I guess, like thumb harmonic.
Yep.
If you know what that is, or look it up. It's like a guitar trick.
Amazing.
I always thought that song was sick. Like just listening to it on the radio in the early 90s about.
Yeah, whenever it came out.
90s.
Yeah, it was actually mid to late 90s. It was whenever Ozzy was having this big renaissance, because I just found out around the time that he died that the reason they did Ozfest is because Perry Farrell and them didn't want Ozzy for Lollapalooza for 97. How do you say no to Ozzy?
He's not like alternative. It's like a different...
If Ozzy is cool.
Different genre, I guess.
And also, they let Metallica headline in 96. Anyway, I get around the point. I think it worked. And I think for a lot of people, seeing him with his kids and all his friends around, this was like tearjerker, feel good part. And this has been a tough year. And sometimes you need some of that. Sometimes you just need some of that. Also, I got to shout out the varial heel he did down the Carlsbad 2.0. The big grass gap there. I don't know why. It just reminds me of Carlsbad. I'm just going to start calling it that. I don't know where it is. And then also, he did a switch frontside flip over a rail near the courthouse in downtown LA with all the bricks. It's near the curved Muska rail. But like earlier this year, we had talked about this time last year, we were talking about our predictions. We're saying, maybe partially jokingly that Hucking is back. Well, Hucking is like back. Like it's for real back. And if we're talking SOTY, I think it's Chris Joslin's to lose. What do y'all think?
I did. I talked to Michael Burnett, editor-in-chief of Thrasher, in September when the cover came out. I did it for a little article on Simple Magic, and I pulled up a quote posted on Twitter that was basically Burnett saying, like, you can be kind of shit. I should just pull up the actual quote instead of trying to freestyle it. Mama, I'm Coming Home came out in 91.
Dang, Ozzy was not cool in 1991.
I think, yeah, there were some people who were like, I don't want to hear that. That's bad Ozzy time. Quote coming in T minus. God, it's in a group chat. Thought I had it on Twitter. The group chat was at least one of the group chats was going off way too hard today with all the video parts. Okay, so I always say, quote Mike Burnett, there's so much talk about who's cool, who's hip, kind of snobby stuff. And I'm like, who kids like? Chris Joslin. So that was within the context of getting that 360 flip photo, putting it on the cover. Burnett also talked about how there hasn't been a lot of Joslin and Thrasher. So I'm not saying that it's a done deal, but that seems like a good enough endorsement from the guy who more or less makes the call.
Yeah. I mean, hey, maybe, for your average kid or average dude that gets off work, goes to the park, does a couple tricks, hangs out, smokes a cig, goes home, and maybe that type of dude is super psyched on Joslin. And what else did I have to say?
I mean, I just interject that, like, we know way too much about these skaters anymore. So, like, Chris Joslin's stances on vaccines, I feel like, was something that was a topic at some point in the past couple of years. It's like, I don't need to know that.
Well, I think
know
maybe
less about these guys.
Maybe it's slightly diluted because there's a lot more people who are in that camp in and across skateboarding. That being said, y'all both made a good point in saying this might be, if it's him as SOTY, this might be angling for the youth vote. There's been a lot of chatter about skating trending old, and this is somebody who impresses the kids.
I think he's got just a lot of the lunch pail support. But Jason, you were saying?
Yeah, I was saying, but yeah, we talked about last year when we were making predictions. Hucking is back. All three of the front runners for this thing are Huckers. I mean, granted, Antonio's more of like an impressionistic, like Zen master hooker, right? But he'll like switch frontside flip or switch frontside heel flip down anything, pretty much.
He loves flying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I got texted. What was the name of that part? It's like the vertical iPhone part from him. The Mostly Skate legal correspondent, Peter Vanker, sent the immigration part to me like 30 minutes ago, random Thursday night poll. And I watched that. I'm like, wait, okay, yeah. No, this guy is Darou's for sure my actual like skater of the year vote. Wouldn't be mad at Joslin or Tom Schaar for that matter. We have more skaters to talk about yet, though. So maybe that'll sway me.
That is correct. At noon Pacific time on Thursday, December the 11th, which is when we are recording, Ginwoo Onodera dropped his debut part for Jart, the one-time home of Bastien Salabonzi, on Street League YouTube page. Mike, how do you feel about this as Ginwoo's debut offering as a pro?
I feel pretty good about it. The kid skates fast, I will say, in all fairness, and as, a skateboard commentator here on this podcast, he's still a little grommy. He skates a mini board, but yeah, between the speed and I think kind of just like it was mostly the speed, but he did some shit. He front blunted a 16 stair handrail to varial flip out. Not a trick that I would choose to do necessarily, but insanely buck nonetheless. Like, Ginwoo's gonna be really incredible at 23 years old. A 15-year-old did a bunch of crazy stuff and did we get a triple flip big spin flip, or was it just a double big spin flip in there? I kind of lost track of some of that stuff.
Double.
Dude definitely sticks with his bag of tricks, which is turning backside, kick flipping, or switch heel flipping, nollie heel flipping, and it's a front board back tail. Was there a back? I think there was a kick flip back lip in there. So we're there are some serious guardrails on what tricks Ginwoo chooses to do, but just how fast he was skating, I'm bullish, and his fits are insane.
Yeah, along those lines, I I gotta get some of them shorts for the summertime. I'll tell you. So if anyone knows the brand, hit me up on Instagram. Nah, I'm kidding. I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna talk shit about someone's style if they're 15. I mean, he's a kid. Like Mike said or alluded to, skaters really only reach their full power at like 22, 23. But yeah, I mean, you can tell he lived at some skate park and like started doing frontside blunt slides and like every single variation out of them. Actually, like I'll tell you, a couple of times during this part, I literally said like, "No way, dude!" Like it was like that, like the kickflip backside tailside, kickflip out on a handrail. That's how you know we're living in the future.
Why? Because everybody's skating like, playing on the hardest level of Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
Yeah, it's like Tony Hawk Pro Skater shit. It's like the type of shit I would have expected in 2025 in 1994.
But is it
so? I kind of love that. That's kind of awesome.
How is the future living? Is it future meeting your expectations of what you thought skating was going to be when you watch virtual reality? Like it feels like the stuff that blew our minds in virtual reality, just in the intro, the 3-screen intro, is now the straight up norm.
Oh yeah, what did I think? I think I thought like, oh, people are going to be like switch 360 flipping street gaps, which they are, like doing crazy rails, like flipping and flip out of rails, which people do. So it's like not that far off.
Mike, what about you? How is the present meeting your expectations of what you thought the future was going to be in 1994, 95?
I mean, I started skating in 95, and I don't know how far into the future I was looking. I at one point, a couple years down the line, I thought of the trick, like a 180 switch crooked grind over the back. And then Robbie McKinley did it switch and listen, and I was super stoked on that. Not the end of the show. I was just stoked on that trick. I will say, because this was a stray thought I had today, that like I don't know how enjoyable SOTY season is now that we're like 5 years into everybody's dumping apart at the end of the year, because I think it's like heightened expectations to a point that I'm not enjoying the video parts as much as I maybe would if I wasn't expecting the fucking moon out of every one of them. You know what I mean?
I guess part of me is I've gotten quite used to it because, I've lived in LA for 11 years now. And so I've become very used to for your consideration season, the billboards, the commercials, the amount of work. So it's not particularly far off. And I don't work in the entertainment industry, but it's omnipresent here. And to y'all's point about what I thought the future was going to be like, I was hoping for more stuff that looked like virtual reality, and then later secondhand smoke. I don't think I ever could have expected anything like this. Like, I think you're right, Jason, that there's times where you watch parts like Ginwoo's and you just say to yourself, how is this even possible? And here's the other thing. This kid's 15. When we were teenagers, who was like the greatest teenage skater on the planet was LeVar McBride.
Yeah.
Right? And LeVar was amazing.
Greatest looking skater ever.
Like, Guy Mariano, we don't have nearly enough footage to make the same judgment call, but we have more of LeVar in his teenage years. We have Guy in his late teens, early 20s, which is a very special period for Guy Mariano, which I love. I love, Guy with the long hair and the mustache and goatee. Anyway, but yeah, this is, I think something else that stood out to me was Ginwoo skating in like every Nike SB in any colorway. Like this is stuff that like was like languishing on the sale racks. I'm thinking about like the BRSBs, the all types of weird colorway Bruin Reacts.
Are those the like they try to make a skatable Nike Cortez?
Yeah. Yep. Oh, what a own goal of the century.
It's like, no, yeah, that's funny. Like he's not wearing Dunks or Blazers, just like those random shoes that like no one actually likes or buys.
Well, it's
but
the random
he's going to make them cool.
But nobody on the team wears them.
It's funny, though. It adds personality.
I don't know. The gripe I hear at the shop sometimes is that, like, yeah, nobody on the team wears them, and nobody in the Nike program seems to care that they don't wear them, yet they want us to order them. So Ginwoo is doing shit for the shops, baby.
Exactly. Yeah. Every single thing that's in his box, he's rocking it. And you know what? When you're 15... and you're getting free clothes and free sneakers, my goodness, like, I mean, it's amazing 40 plus, and it's amazing at any age.
What's amazing is that his kits have been like very consistent throughout. He only wears shorts. He's got the oversized top. He might be 11, he might be 15. He's got the headband on, and if he's if it warrants some coverage. He's got tights on under the shorts, which is like, man, in the winter, I boil down to wearing like long johns with some basketball shorts over them because I'm just sick of wearing sweats or cords or slacks or whatever. Like, you need coverage. So I respect his game, man.
Compression is good. And so he's 15, and we've talked often about the idea of the window, and inevitably there's going to be comparisons to a Nigel Houston because Ginwoo is also a really good contest skater. He just won the SLS Men's Super Crown World Championship. Try saying that 15 times fast.
Kneecap Nija too in the process.
But the thing is, at least I hope. I think and this is where it's kind of a bit of projection. I hope he's enjoying skating, because I think the interviews and the conversations that Nija has had about his adolescent, early teen years is that at some point it just started to feel like a job because of the sheer amount of pressure of, number one, meeting his dad's expectations, and number two, basically supporting the family on his contest earnings.
Yeah, that last part's messed up.
I mean, yeah, dude, like I feel for any child actor, child star, whatever, child athlete, because like that's not how normal people live. Under the microscope all the time and constantly having to perform. And being a teenager is all about being confused and screwing up. And you're not allowed to do either of those things. You got to be hyper focused. I hope he's having fun and doesn't burn out when he's 20 and decide I'm over it.
Yeah, you never know. It happens.
It happens a lot.
You might get super into DJing or something and be like, I'm over it.
Or maybe he needs to start hanging out with Antonio Durao.
Oh yeah, become his Padawan.
Yeah, just like
exactly.
Like the two. Oh my goodness, this is a script waiting to happen. Those two driving across the country in Antonio's BMW, just skating.
All of a sudden, Antonio's wearing like headbands and shit. Lil G gets on like some baggies.
Exactly. Yo, somebody front the cash. I know times are tough, but we gotta make that happen. But yeah, in terms of, and the company's pronounced Jart, right?
I don't know what else it could be. Unless it's art.
I think someone said it's Heart.
Heart? It is Spanish after all, right?
Yeah.
Heart. I mean, everybody in the United States been saying Jart for 10 years. And just puzzling over why is it called Jart.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen any Jart stuff. There's Nocturnal in Philly would often have a bunch of stuff from Spanish brands, but I've never seen any of their stuff in any of the shops out here on the West Coast. I think I've only ever seen their boards out in the wild in Europe. So hopefully this is a mutually beneficial relationship. I gotta deduct points for the music though, for two reasons. Number one, like real hip hop is for old heads like us. Like if you are getting a regularly scheduled, colonoscopy or doing mammograms, like that music is for you. It's not for someone who's 15. Right?
Yeah, same. I thought it was kind of weird skating to 3 instrumental hip hop songs in a row.
It's got to be clean for the kids.
Yeah, true. Yeah. Gotta keep it clean for the kids.
It's so corny. So stark contrast to the Zion part. I don't want to jump ahead, but like, and also just like snippets of the 3 songs. Pick a song. Like pick one song. I hate this short attention span theater, music supervision. The only person who can get away with that is homeboy who did Portions. Austin, what's his name again?
Ooh, Austin.
I'm blanking on that.
Portions. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you know who the homie is. Yeah, he can get away with that.
The British guy.
Exactly. Yeah, but yeah, the short attention span theater music supervision. Just cut it out. Pick a song and roll with it, right?
What was that first track? It bugged me, and then I forgot to look it up.
I think it's like Jurassic 5 or something.
Oh, yeah, some sort of goofy shit. Yeah, that's right. Okay, that sounds about right.
Oh, yo, I just got where's my backpack?
Yeah, there's all the old backpackers coming out.
Where's my
J5 into some DMX, like, wow.
Yeah, pile under things that would never happen. That's another thing that kills me. All the people who are fetishizing Y2K, late 90s, early aughts, and cramming stuff together that never went together. Like you like DMX or you like J5. Rarely did the two ever meet.
I mean,
like, come on.
Yeah, no. I was on the J5 side. I'm like, DMX, okay, whatever. But like, yeah, I'm not listening to DMX.
And then like Freeway, like how you gonna have the instrumental of What We Do? That song is a stone cold classic. Like Philly people right now, like this is the equivalent of sitting down when the national anthem is playing.
Well, what music does Ginwoo listen to?
That's what I'm more interested in.
Yeah, I mean,
We gotta get him on the pod. I mean, shit.
probably would have been better with the music he actually listens to. And maybe he's digging in the crates. Who knows?
No, you 15 years old, you an old soul in 2025.
I don't know, man. At Thanksgiving, I met a 13-year-old second cousin or cousin once removed. I don't know the science of cousinry, but this kid was legitimately talking to me about like Mobb Deep the Infamous. And he knew things. He knew things. It was insane, dude.
Man, it's not that crazy. Like, I mean, I work with kids that are like about this age, and they're all into like Alice in Chains, like Typo Negative, Pantera, just like stuff from the 90s.
R.I.P. Dimebag, by the way.
Yeah, by Dime, R.I.P. Dime, R.I.P. Peter from Typo also.
Dang. I don't know. I guess it's just, I mean, granted, if you were in the 90s and you were listening to the Beatles, it's the exact same thing. It's the same length of time, but it's just, I remember when those albums came out, and it feels weird that there are kids who'd be young enough to be like my nieces and nephews, like kids my youngest nieces and nephews age, like who are into it like hard body. Like Mike, we asked us like, where were you when the Infamous dropped? Like, yo, talk to me about the first that first Killer tape.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, talking about how, you know, Shook Ones Part 2, Europe 95, Vert Munster. He didn't ask about that.
That's a sad use of that part. I'm sorry. I understand it was a licensing thing, but just like, yo, you're gonna really relegate one of the greatest tracks of all time to the Vert section in a European contest video?
In defense of 411, for some reason, the album had just come out, and then anybody who wants to search the Platinum Seagulls archive, I did a thing one time where I like tallied up how many tracks from the Infamous were used in a 411 video production. And if there's like 16 songs on that album, I think 9 or 10 of them were in a 411 somewhere. So
yeah,
so they were just using shit. They were just spamming it.
Yeah, I guess they had some deal with the label, and they were like, here you go, you can use whatever from this CD. Yeah.
It was Interscope, right?
They were on, I think label was Mobb Deep on. They weren't
on Def Jam, were they?
They were on Loud. They were on Loud RCA.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Steve Rifkin.
Yeah. Shout out to Steve Rifkin.
Yeah, seriously. Shout out that guy.
Yeah. Shout out to all the people who actually put in work in the 90s and blessed the universe with so much great music.
Loud Records, correct.
Okay. Wait. What's that? Wait a minute. What's that I hear? By God. It's Zion with a 7-minute part. Oh my goodness. The blockbuster is back. Zion Wright is out here with a 7-minute part that dropped this morning, opening it up to the floor. I think this was, of the 3 parts that we're talking about, this was the hardest hitting. This was the one that made me, y'all ever watch a video and stand up and start, maybe not yelling, but pointing at the TV and just feeling like, yo, I'm about it. This was thrilling. This got my adrenaline going. I mean, Jason, speaking of hip hop, I mean, do a scan to Jeezy.
Yeah, tremendous. Well, I'll talk about the music supervision in a second. I just want to say, yeah, this guy, not really my cup of tea. I'm more like a Ledge type of guy, but he put a hurting on them rails. That's for sure.
I'm nodding my head.
Yeah, the music supervision, that one Jeezy song and that other song fit perfectly. You can tell it's the kind of shit that he listens to. Went really well with a rail heavy part, which you wouldn't think. Cool Dale Earnhardt shirt towards the beginning. And yeah, Zion is he's like a real power skater. Like you can just tell like the way he pops out of backsmiths or whatever. Like there's one time he's doing a backsmith like on this rail up against the wall, pops out of it, lands on lands like bang, like yeah, just a real power dude.
You guys remember the cartoon started in 85, the Gummy Bears?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God. No, I don't think so.
Like, I don't know. This part's like, he's a gummy bear. Like I think they would eat gummy bears or like this special berry juice and they just start like bopping around and shit. Like, that's what it reminded me of. Very entertaining part. He's good. That big spin back tail to fakie over a flat gap, like a narrow ledge to another narrow ledge. That's pretty buck. That was insane. The backsmith you just talked about, Jason, was really sick. Because that was a wood rail or something weird, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it went back into the wall, so he had to pop out early. The 5-0 down the very steeped, kinked rail, where he basically like manual grinds the flat, and then he lands, and I'm pretty sure he was like, "Damn, that was cool," and "Holy shit, I did that." That was really good.
I think friend of the show, Kevin Horn, filmed that.
Ooh, respect, Kevin.
Yeah. This
St.
was
Paul, Minnesota.
hell yeah. Shout out to the Twin Cities. Yeah, this is the kind of part that you put on before a session where you feel like I gotta land something. And I think it is meant for the screen. And it is also meant to be it can be watched solo, it can be watched with the homies. Like, and I think most importantly, it kicked up a feeling that I haven't thought about in a minute, because I was listening to a lot of Jeezy. 2008, global economy is in free fall. The US economy had been in recession since late 2008. I was like broke, working the worst market research job ever in DC. And I remember one time my friend Peter and I were just driving around DC, and he had this little VW Golf, and we were just playing the recession on loop, running errands all day, and it was just fantastic. And you know what? This is a man who's hungry. This is a man who's hungry. This is the kind of part that you put out there if you're saying like, yo, I'm trying to change sponsors. I don't think he has any interest in leaving Real. His part in Oval was amongst the best received and got a lot of love in the theater during the LA premiere. So like he's cementing it. Like, I know it's the SOTY rush. I'm not really sure if he's in the conversation, but this is SOTY level skating right here.
Yeah, I was thinking how 7-minute part, he filled it out. It felt like, dang, that was like the perfect amount of. It felt like the right size of a part. Just
Like,
I mean, we are in comparison season 2. Joslin's part felt like, okay, dang, that's it. I thought they were gonna hit with like the first chorus, "Mama, I'm coming home," and then he big spin flips Wallenberg, and you're like, "Fuck yeah, we're gonna get like 2 more minutes of footage." Nope, straight to El Toro. The Zion part was like, okay, yep, we're building, and yet for some reason I only watched it once today. What was his last trick?
It was
the 50-50 back.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, back 50-50.
What do we think of that trick? I saw a friend of the podcast. He's got to come on here sometime. Lucas Weisenthal on Twitter say it was a snowboard trick.
I think it's an indicator that the back 3 is back. The kids love them. There was several in the Real video, and seeing quite a few of them of kids out skating flat. Jason, what do you think?
I kind of think that spot is like a super bust. Not sure, but yeah, it's cool. I mean, yeah, it's all right. I don't know if it's like a ender, like after black ender type trick, but
it was an after black, a rare after black in this day and age.
Oh yeah, it wasn't after black. I was joking, but yeah, I guess it wasn't after black. But yeah, backside 360s, the one he does down a big set, it's like none of that like 1 foot business. Like it's like a Danny Way questionable 360, like feet are like perfectly positioned.
Weird observation. Like he had the mega toe in where he was like smoking a spliff and like tosses it after he lets go.
Yeah, that's cool. That was cool as shit. I noted that too.
Oh, dude. Dual smoking tricks this SOTY season, because Gabber's like, back 50, some long ass rail with a cig in his mouth, like last great cig smoking skater, Gabbers, and then Zion's like taking a drag, smashes that thing, and then backside 180s, the ramp.
Oh, wait, are you sure he wasn't smoking a cig? Are you positive it was a joint?
For some reason, I don't think he's a cigarette smoker.
You don't think
there'd be more B-roll?
He was wearing a Dale Earnhardt shirt at one
Touche. I do have an extended point here, though. Extended point is the toe-in. I don't know. I have issues with the toe-in. I'm sure sometimes it's just like, I'm not getting over this thing, or I'm going to wear my ass out trying to push at it. I've definitely ruined myself pushing at stupid things, at stupid angles, up stupid hills. But that backside 360 you were talking about, Jason, where he like runs, throws down, drops down a 2 or 3 stair, probably a 3 stair, and then like very little time and just blast that back 360 off I don't know, 9-10 stair. You can't fade the like run, throw down, hit that shit, like sprint throw down, because That was so cool, and it was contrasted because the clips were back to back.
Is the bowl footage in there okay? Because Zion's
It was
actually
so good.
he's really good at transition.
Yeah, the bowl footage is cool. He was just cruising. Nothing crazy.
Au contraire. I don't even know what to call it. I don't want to call it a CAB because that dude's cut. But fakie 360, it's not a nose grab because you got to do or it's not a lean because you got to go front side for it to be a lean. So like the fakie 360 nose where he like whips it, and then he did, what was it? It was like a blindside 360 to fakie, but he did again the nose grab, but then indie grabbed it.
Yep.
Like double grab. That was just bonkers, and like he's so fluid on a ramp, and I would have taken like 2 to 3 more clips.
Okay, do you think
transition stuff? If he can make twists, so he needs to flex.
Oh, so he should just put out some him and Jimmy Wilkins should do this little Instagram part together.
That's a good idea.
Right?
He can do a McTwist.
Yeah, for sure.
You see him? Oh, he should have put that in the part then. I mean, shit.
He's got him out there.
If you can do it, is it they're out there? All right, I gotta check that shit out. Because like, if you can do a McTwist, you might as well just throw one in your part. Like, fuck it.
It's like I got this 5-0 down the steepest kinked rail ever, and I can McTwist. So what you got?
Yeah, there's probably like what? There's probably about 10 people in professional skateboarding who could do both of those things and do them well.
Moses at Conan.
Yep. Danny Way.
Colin McKay? No, yeah. he never did a handrail. Does he have a handrail?
Shit, I gotta go back and rewatch his
Birdman.
Actually,
Birdman does have an ad skating the rail.
Birdman's got the lip at that SD high school.
Okay, Birdman. All right, so it's really more like 5.
Hold on.
Oh, Alfonso Rawls.
Oh yeah. Front nose.
He could probably still do that.
Lance Mountain.
Yeah, and he doesn't get the rail points. He's got a great McTwist. He doesn't get the rail points. I mean, did CAB ever do a McTwist?
Oh yeah. If you were a reskated vert at that time period, like you had to.
Yeah, and he definitely skated rails. I remember him in, I think it was an old Vans ad when it was they redesigned the cab for the late 90s for the khaki pants and white tee crowd. If y'all remember those.
Yeah, those are so bad, like the Cab 3 or whatever.
Yeah, woof.
Dude, all mid to late 90s Vans were like the trifest shoe you've ever seen.
It was like, it's not even A for effort, And I think that's why they had to dial it back and go back with the classics, because those shoes were, I mean, people wore them and they complained constantly. Anyway, back to Zion. I think
the Willie Santos shoe.
There will be no Willie Santos slander on this pod. Also,
I'm only talking about the shoe, bro. Only talking about the shoe.
Heath Kirchart.
Could he McTwist?
I don't know.
I guess
Steve Barra could.
Steve Barra
can definitely McTwist, and I know for a fact that he. Wait, Costin
540'd. I don't know if he McTwist it. Like I'm talking, like a semi-flipped mute grabbed 540.
Yeah. Cardiel.
And he did a melon 540 flat spin.
Oh, I mean, maybe he's beyond the competition because he did.
Now I'm just nickel and diming it, man. Yeah.
Anyway, back to Zion. This to me was a statement part. This was I'm in my window. Like he's like I'm in my window, and maybe Thrasher will do something crazy and just hand it over to him.
See, it's an awesome part, and he is I don't know. There's like the fun factor with that part. And the way he skates, that it's like, hell yeah, let's do it. It would be tough to give it to a Floridian 2 years in a row. That would seem a little, cooking the books. He seems to be like invisible, and then he comes out with these parts, and it's like, whoa, and then he's invisible again. Maybe that's because I don't follow him on Instagram. I don't know.
Well, that's how it should be. I think it's cooler that way.
Yeah, there's something to that.
Like you see, like in the latest reel video, like Kyle Walker, you were like, oh, Kyle Walker, I haven't thought about him in a bit. And like, he's gotten better and shit. You're like, damn, this person really progressed. So yeah. I kind of think it's better that way, but
True. I agree. I also think, again, injury is a factor in here. And also, apparently Kyle Walker's got some other stuff coming up soon. So that's very exciting. But this is the kind of part I could have used in the summertime.
Oh, yeah, dude. That's another thing about this whole SOTY season thing. Like, they used to release all like the dope videos around June, July. So you're like psyched for the summertime, Doesn't happen anymore. Everything's like fourth quarter. Sometimes, I mean, there'll be some cool shit like dime will drop a video in the summertime or whatever. All timers RIP when they were around. But yeah, that's the thing about this whole like fourth quarter thing.
Well, then, we as the guys who try to do a podcast year round know that like January, February is going to be just like,
Oh, it's a wasteland.
nothing.
We're going to be shit.
Yep.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, you're right. It is unfortunate that everything is crammed to the end of the year, and especially in the northern hemisphere, in a country like the U.S., where most of the country is under snow and ice during the wintertime. So you got these great video parts. And you're like, dang, I can't even go out and exorcise the stoke that I'm feeling
Yeah,
from watching this video. You just got to watch it run it on repeat, and hope there's a parking garage you can skate. And finally, we head over to the quiet bedroom community of Torrance, California, where Daewon Song answers some surprisingly good questions on the Crail Couch. I'll take this one right here because I picked it. I love Daewon. Daewon is amazing, and apparently Thank You is done. Mike, how you feeling about this?
I mean, in all honesty, it was kind of a scattershot brand. You don't want any of these guys, good skaters, to be out of a job or out of a board sponsor, but it would be cool, if like Daewon Song ended up on Chocolate as kind of like, hey, we've been friends forever. Let's do something cool. I wouldn't be mad at that. And there seemed to be a little, synergizing with the Lil Dre special effect shot that was being shot while Daewon was on the Crail Couch.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
know. He's an old friend. It's always nice to see him in a familiar place.
Yeah,
Jason?
well, first off, shout out my boy Colin Reed with the guest appearance there. He did the Lil Dre skit at the beginning of his part. But yeah, if they could figure out the money, like Daewon on Girl or Chocolate would be pretty cool. At least for people such as ourselves.
Yeah, and also
From our
it's hinted at in the part that he's working on something. So, and he's been going on Adidas trips, right? He's going on filming trips and he's going on tours, and he's kind of become a bit of a father figure to Lil Dre, who sadly lost his father, I believe, last year, and it was a difficult loss as well too. But the fact that Lil Dre has found a home on Girl is amazing, and the fact that him and Daewon are linking up on a mentor-mentee relationship, that's exciting as well. And Daewon is just such a fascinating dude. And I just remember thinking about him in that movie, The Last Black Man in San Francisco, where he made a cameo. And he was so funny. He's actually a surprisingly good actor. So I'm hoping that he's going to be in some skits and that they continue to let him skate the park. And also, I didn't realize that he had a Hummer that was basically a sinkhole for money.
For the skateboard mag, summer 2008, I got the Daewon Song assignment, and I talked to him about the Hummer. I think Daniel Castillo told me that he's got this Hummer. Ask him about it. And at the time, he said it was mostly just like the tax break for buying a big ass vehicle. Like that was the rationale.
Dang. Well, I guess we'd all be stoked to have a little bit more money in our pockets. Which brings us to the part of our show where we talk about what we're stoked on. Mike, what are you stoked on this week?
I am stoked on, we have a bunch of snow here on the ground. A bunch just fell. I'm stoked on riding a bike in the snow because I did buy a fat tire bike a couple of years ago. It's kind of goofy, but super utility when there's a boatload of snow on the ground. And I want to say we got like 7 or 8 inches 2 or 3 days ago now. It all blends together because all you do is shovel for a couple of days. But going out, it's super interesting to like ride a bike that can handle a bunch of shit when it's just completely random. You ride on the sidewalk, you might have to jump some shit. You ride in the street, you're definitely dealing with like odd mounds of snow and ice and chunks. And it's kind of a struggle the whole time, but it's exciting in that. And then I'm also stoked on watching in the future. I haven't seen it yet, but there's a Netflix documentary about the New Yorker magazine. And as an old magazine writer, one-time newspaper maker, just getting behind the scenes at one of the American magazine institutions is going to be interesting. So I'm going to tune in and maybe report back on if I liked it or not. Jason, what are you stoked on this week?
Stoked on Venture Trucks out of San Francisco, California. There's so many parts coming out that we couldn't fit them all in the show. Along those lines, I'm stoked on the Felipe Mota Pro part. This is the type of progressive skating that I really fuck with. I too am stoked on something on Netflix. I watched the entire Puff Daddy documentary. Super interesting. Was stoked on that. Y'all know me. I'll watch any music industry documentary at all. Doesn't matter. But yeah, especially if you were outside during his rise to power or whatever, it's super interesting. And stoked on a little video out of DC from the outfit called Statue. It's this guy Namdi, who's the filmer. I think that's his name. But yeah, just another DC video, a lot of Pulaski and other spots. If you like that type of shit, yeah, you'll probably dig it. Patrick, what are you stoked on this week?
Shout out to Statue, shout out to Namdi, and also Tom from Skate Twitter, who's amazing in there, hitting the rail on the side off of a jump ramp. But this week, I'm stoked on Spitfire Wheels. I'm snacked on a remix of The Power by Snap. It's a Bhangra remix of that song, and it's as dope as it sounds. I'm also really enjoying the end of the year SOTY flood of content. It's actually been really nice, and it's been a great way to take my mind off things. Particularly, there's the video that just dropped a couple days ago, Yalta, Ross, and Antonio. And finally stoked on Antonio Durao for sending a bunch of boards and wheels from Hardbody, his new board sponsor, to the Uganda Skateboard Society. Shout out to the homies in Mukono. And on top of that, shout out to Thrasher for sponsoring the Uganda SOTY, the Uganda Skater of the Year. So this is the year we take over. This is the year. Uganda is going to be the new Brazil. Anyway, that's it for our show this week. Be sure to check mostlyskateboarding.net for links and other show notes. Until then, you can keep up with us online. Jason, where can the people find you on Robert Digital's internets?
Still on Twitter, don't know why, but it's at Carbonite 1994. On Instagram, at Frozen Carbonite, and writing stuff for the quartersnacks.com website. Mike, where can the people find you?
I've got the same handle on Twitter, Instagram, and Blue Sky. It's at M Munzenrider. Patrick, where can the people find you?
All right, word. You can find me on Threads, straight up lurking under the handle at Kigongo. You can find me under that same handle on Instagram. And you can find me on Blue Sky under at Kigongo. Anyway, be safe out there, enjoy the skating, and may the best skater win Thrasher's Skater of the Year. That's it for our show.
Later.
Like the drag of the whip, I snap attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Digging like a shovel, rhyme double on a heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind day and night.